What's going on, guys? It's your boy Darth Eternal here with the latest Star Wars news. But before we do get into that, remember, hit the subscribe, like, and notification bell so you're always in the know. Also, go check out my last video as it was a good one, so give it a thumbs up as you watch. Let's start today's show because we have some big news today. So for the first half of today's news, we're going to talk about Hayden Christensen sitting down with Total Film and discussing the future of Darth Vader in the Star Wars universe. Now, we already know that there's been some rumors, and it does show on the IMDb that Christensen will be appearing in the Ahsoka series that will be premiering in 2023. But while Disney and Lucasfilm haven't really confirmed anything as of right now, the actor teased the extent of this journey is something that remains to be seen. And this is what was said. The extent of this journey, I think, remains to be seen, but what a privilege it is to get to come back and do this and be a part of the project. Now, Christensen went on to also expressing that his excitement about returning to the franchise is specifically mentioned that it was a lot of fun to get into the mindset and the emotional state of Darth Vader during the majority of the actor's time in the prequel trilogy. He played obviously the Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker and only got to spend a couple of scenes really as Vader. Now, this is what he said. When George Lucas had brought me on the prequels, it was to play Anakin. He gets knighted as Darth Vader towards the end for a couple of scenes that we did get to see, and I get to put on the suit. But my journey with the character was with Anakin Skywalker, but the character, he's such a complex character, and now getting to explore the mindset and the emotional state of Darth Vader has been a lot of fun. So this is exciting that we're going to get to see this version, I think, of Darth Vader, to see an emotional state, to see this side of Vader possibly having some regret, maybe, regretting that time that we got to see him, with Palpatine when he officially turned into, Lord Vader, shall I say, when, Mace Windu was thrown out the window. So this version of Vader is definitely going to be a different kind of one that we've never seen before in anything Star Wars. And I think that that's what makes it truly beautiful, because to get this version, I think, is amazing. And to see Hayden Christensen, how he's been just talking about it, how he's binge watched the Clone Wars, saw the prequels again, I think is amazing to see what he's really doing to prepare for this, and seeing again the Clone Wars, just everything that has to do with Star Wars, to figure out and also just understand Darth Vader a lot more during this timeline. And who's to say he didn't even read comics? Maybe he's read some comics to understand this darker Vader as well, who's upset, who's angry, who's hunting Jedi. This is the type of Vader that the fans, myself, have been waiting for and expecting. And I just can't wait, guys. Now, the other thing that Christensen was asked was that if he could spill any information on whether James Earl Jones was returning, to which he responded with no comment. So again, that is interesting to see that there was no comment on that, and I think it's pretty funny. But again, that goes to tell you right there again that most probably we're going to get the original voice for Vader, I think, one last time, and this is exciting. So take that and definitely be excited, and comment down below and let me know what you really think about this. Now, we know that season 2 of The Mandalorian confirmed that Ahsoka was definitely alive and well, and we got to see her, obviously, we got to see her story really a lot more too in the Book of Boba Fett a little bit. And since both projects are set obviously after Return of the Jedi, that would mean that Anakin could return in the flesh but there is a good chance that Christensen could return as the character's Force Ghost, which I could definitely see happening, and it would also not be a stretch to suggest that we'll see some flashbacks in the Ahsoka series, obviously of the Clone Wars, of a younger, de-aged Hayden Christensen, and possibly Ewan McGregor. I mean, if they have him, right, why not bring him back as well? And that's another way that Christensen could appear in the show, and it would definitely allow fans to see live action interactions between the two characters from that time period. As we know, their relationship is a brother-sister relationship from what we learned from the Clone Wars. And as far as other projects go, to be honest with you guys, I personally think that we can definitely get Vader in the Andor series, because it's already been confirmed that that show will have a span of multiple seasons, and seeing how Vader appeared already in Rogue One and played a large role in trying to shut down the Rebel Alliance, Diego Luna's character could very well be pitted against the Sith Lord at some point. So let me know, guys, comment down below, and let me know again what you think of this news today on seeing the future, and if you guys are excited for the future of Darth Vader. Now, also, today in an interview with Total Film, we got to hear Deborah Chow really sit down and discuss this series, and even tease that there will be multiple characters returning to Star Wars, with seeing some familiar faces. What? Now, let's read what she actually had to say. Obi-Wan's going through a journey, obviously, and there's going to be different people that come into his life. One of the things I was trying to do with this series was to have the legacy and who is important in Obi-Wan's life, and to also have some new characters. So it's going to be a mixture of the two, but I do think there are some surprises to come, I hope. Now, when she says I hope, we obviously know that that means that she hopes that the fans really do receive it really well. Now, this is what she also had to say. We really did conceive this like the beginning, middle, and the end. And it's one big story, and it was always meant to be. You can never tell what happens in the future, but if another series were to happen, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that's just me saying that, it would be the same process of making sure that there was a real story to tell. Ours is obviously very connected to the prequels, obviously, but I love the idea that there can be more stories that are all over the timeline. Now, this is really cool because I appreciate it for her obviously saying that we can get some things that are close to home for Kenobi, because again, this has to talk about the tragedy. This is the tragedy of not just only Vader, but Kenobi as well. He lost his brother, guys. And obviously this is 10 years down along the line after Revenge of the Sith. But one of the first names that comes to mind is obviously Grand Master Qui-Gon Jinn, obviously, and Liam Neeson has blatantly stated that appearing on TV would not interest him, but after all, we know that these actors love to play games and tease us a little bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Qui-Gon as a Force Ghost, or shall I say a voice, because he never really did finish his training unless they changed that up, which we don't know. So again, I would love to see Qui-Gon, but also I know that I'm okay with not seeing him and just hearing his voice, and I'd be totally okay with that. Now, another character that comes to mind that's definitely important to Obi-Wan was his love interest with Satine. So we know that they obviously had a relationship at some point, and we know that she perished in Obi-Wan's arms during season 5 of that show, and it wouldn't be surprised if the two appear in flashbacks together as Obi-Wan reminisces about life before the dark times. Now look, I've definitely hinted at it, I've been talking about it. I would love to see some Padme. Don't get me wrong, but if this is really going to be Obi-Wan's story, then it would make real sense to talk about Satine and the love of his life during this time, again, before the dark times. Now, the other character that could show up in this series as well is Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka. Now, she already made her live action debut, and we could see a obviously younger Rosario Dawson making, obviously playing Ahsoka. during this point in time. So that would be really cool. And could you imagine if we get an interaction between the two of them? Imagine seeing, you know, Kenobi and Ahsoka. That would be dope, guys. That'd be so amazing. Comment down below if you would love to see that. Now, there are so many characters that we can talk about. Like another one, Mace Windu. We could possibly get a flashback with him. Maybe he thinks of a time. Maybe Kenobi has a flashback with a young Mace Windu as well. So again, there's a lot of characters that could come out of this. Comment down below who you would love to see, because this is one that is definitely exciting for myself. Hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell so you're always in the know, and stay tuned as I'll have another video out tomorrow. Later, guys.